Hi, it's Sharon from Accidental Art Maker. How are you guys doing? It's Friday, November 17th, and I'm coming to you live from Washington State, where I'm looking out the window and the sun has basically set, and there's a beautiful pink skirmish going along the skyline, bleeding up and blending up into a really pretty blue out there. And I'm just very happy to be here close to Thanksgiving and coming online to say hello to you guys. So, anyways, I could wait for people to join. I'm still seeing nobody has joined yet, but I guess I'll wait just one more little sip of wine and then I'll get started. If you're watching on the replay, let me know replay where you're watching from, and just jump in and say hi. If you have any questions, ask them. I come back and check the recordings to see what people are asking or what they're commenting on, except if you're a troll. Now, if you're a troll and you're just on here being mean, then I tend to eliminate you. But anyways, yeah, so if you're joining, drop in the comments if you're comfortable, your name, where you're watching from. If you are familiar with IOD, DIY, tonight I am going to be having some fun painting. I'm going to switch cameras here so you guys can see it. I've got this awesome tree from Buy Nothing. So you've probably heard me talk about Buy Nothing before. Buy Nothing is a Facebook group. It's hyper local. It's basically, it's when you don't need things from your home, but you don't want to bring them to the dump, or maybe you don't want to bring them to Goodwill, then you go on into this hyperlocal Facebook group and you list what it is that you are giving away. So that is how I found this. Somebody listed and put a picture up at this beautiful Christmas tree here, cardboard, and I was like, I cannot think of a funner thing to paint out of the blue. I mean, where do you find cardboard Christmas trees? I don't know. Oh, that's right. Buy Nothing. So I got it from Buy Nothing a few days ago, and tonight I am just going to paint it green. I'll zoom the camera in just a little bit to show you guys in a moment so you can see it a little bit more close up. I'm going to switch back cameras here. Hi again. Yeah, so in the last few weeks, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you've probably seen some. I usually try and keep that area drama free and not too personal. I mean, the page is for you guys to come on and get inspired and maybe learn new art techniques, or it's your getaway place. Like, I don't want to go out there and, poop all over my Facebook page with all the stuff that's been going on. But, life happens. I've had a challenging summer, followed by a challenging fall. So, and I know so many of you have too. So, yeah, I had to make a lot of trips to the East Coast this summer to help people through illness. My mom entered hospice care this summer, and this was about after 7 years of estrangement for my mom. That's another thing I have found out too from my Facebook page, is that there are so many women who have been estranged from their mom, and I just, it's not something I usually share because it's very, I don't know, embarrassing and humiliating, and why doesn't my mom love me? I don't know. And kind of things. Like, nobody wants to hear about stuff like that on Facebook. At least I don't think you do. At least you don't come to a page like mine to look for stuff like that. But my mom was in hospice. I visited her a couple times this summer, and then she passed away. I want to say the last week of September, but it got, things got a little blurry after that, and work is picking up. So I've just been really head down at work. And then in the evenings, I'm not working anymore. And I've just been kind of crawling into bed with a blanket after eating dinner and Netflixing my brains out. So because it's hard to deal with all this stuff. And, it's just all processing up here. I keep telling you guys on the different platforms you can find me on, in my emails I send to you, Facebook posts. All you have to do is create a little bit, and you'll feel so much better. But guess who hasn't been following her own advice? Me. And that's why I feel a little bit like a hypocrite. This whole week I've been posting about the reasons we find not to create. We don't feel motivated, we're not inspired, we're not good enough, I'm too busy, I don't know what to make, I'm gonna mess up. And I have been posting those things this week. I've been sending out emails too. And I just have been feeling like quite the hypocrite, because I have been down in the dumps. I have not been creating. And here I am telling you guys to go out and create. It'll make you feel better. So tonight I'm doing something really basic. All I'm doing is I'm going to paint this cardboard tree green. That's all. I have big plans for it. But tonight my only plan is just to paint it green, because from there, my plans are to take all of my scraps. So I have IOD transfer scraps, decoupage scraps. I've got stamps. I've got molds. I got inlay scraps, and I'm kind of going to make this tree. I don't know. I'm going to need to come up with a good name for it, but I'm looking forward to taking this from this pretty. It's nice. It's cardboard. It's pretty cool in its own way, but I'm going to transform it. That's my plan. So how am I going to do that tonight? Like I said, one color, and I've picked out Salty Kiss. It's a bright green. There's a bunch of other greens in the DIY paint lineup, but I haven't painted with Salty Kiss yet, and I like the brightness of it, and it seems like a cheerful green. This is just going to be my base coat. As I plan on painting more, maybe, snow or gold or darker hues of green or something like that. I don't know. So I don't have to worry about that right now, because all I'm going to do is paint it just this one color and enjoy it. First, I would enjoy getting the lid off. I've given it a little bit of a shake. I wasn't sure which brush to use. So what I did was I grabbed some of my favorite brushes here. First I was thinking I would just dip in the can and paint, but I wanted a flatter brush, but this one is like more for blending. So, and then this one will be great for the nooks and crannies for sure. This is just a cheapo brush. I sell them. I think I have a few packets left. And there goes my new puppy in the background. So I'm just going with this DIY brush right here. It already has paint on it. I don't know how. So if you know the name of this brush, put it in the link. So I'm going to get painting. So what I'm going to do is, since this is cardboard, I don't want to use my mister and spray on the cardboard. I'm kind of worried that the cardboard might get mushy and lose some of its form. So and I also have a bigger brush. So I'm just pouring paint right in here into my bowl. I'm going to put the lid on. Hello, puppy. Here, people want to say hi. There's my new studio assistant. Let's hope he doesn't get too green by the end of the night. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of my water and pour a little bit of my water right on top of the paint. Sometimes I'll just have like a bowl just with water and I'll dip my brush in it, but I really just want to mix up the paint and just water it down just a little bit. I think it's going to go on easy this way. I haven't done this before, so I'm just kind of figuring stuff out as we move along here. All right. So if you're just joining, jump on to the comments, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. If you like to paint or watercolor, if you have a favorite medium you like to do. I'm going to switch cameras and we're going to get painting here. I'd also be curious to hear, whoops, wrong button. If you guys have gone through periods where you haven't created, and what did it take to to get you guys back in your studio and painting and things like that. All right, so here's my cardboard tree. Oh, you guys, I need to, let's see if I can switch the camera. There we go. So this is my cardboard tree that I got off of Buy Nothing. Some woman made it. I didn't ask her what for, but she was giving it away, and it wasn't like dusty or old or anything like that. It's like she just recently made it. So I'm not really sure what she was what she did with it, but I told her I would love it, and here it is. All right, so I'm gonna pop my laptop over here, and I'll come back in, and I'm gonna be checking comments every once in a while. So ask me anything, and that should be good. All right, let's get going here. All right. So let me see. So you guys can see this spot right here. I'm going to just bring my camera in a little bit closer right here. And I can get it closer if you guys want. But like I said, I'm just here to kind of paint and sip my wine tonight and chat with you guys. That is a great green. I love this. I haven't used this green before. Yeah, so there's little nooks and crannies in here. I might need a smaller brush after all to get in there. But for now, I'm just gonna come in here. The other thing too, so here's a really fun tip, is when you get something like this and it has all these edges, let me turn it around so you can see what I'm about to do here. Sometimes it's fun just to come along and do something like that. What kind of texture does that give you? What kind of look does that give you? Is that something that you like? You see how with all the different texture, the bumps along the cardboard, the paint is just picking up on that. This by itself could be really minimal and just be pretty cool like that, right? Go up and down. You could just make a really cool tree this way if you didn't want to do much more with it. You were just looking for like a green tree like that. But as I said earlier, I do not want to do that. I want to paint all of this. I'm going to paint all this green to start with. So I got my flat brush. I got my paint. We may experiment. In fact, let's just experiment. Let's see what happens. Oh, look, it's dripping. What does happen when you squirt a bunch of paint? I mean, a bunch of water on the paint. See how it's dripping down? That could be a cool effect. But right now, I'm just going to come in here and catch that water. You can see that there's some spots where the cardboard is a little bit wiggly. That's okay. This does not need to be perfect, whatever perfect would be for a cardboard Christmas tree, right? If you haven't gone on to Buy Nothing, but you are on Facebook, I highly recommend you check it out and see what kind of people give away furniture on there all the time. And people give away things like this. Never in a million years would you think you'd find a cardboard Christmas tree handmade by somebody else on Facebook. At least I wouldn't think that. I'm going to come in here and just paint. Oh, well, I was hoping you guys who are watching would chime in if you got any questions or any comments. If you have had times where you just don't feel like creating, maybe you're just kind of gestating a little bit and kind of getting ready for your next big thing, or maybe like me, you just had a lot of life going on and you didn't know how to make room for creating art. It doesn't get much simpler than this. This is actually a little bit of a workout because I'm sitting down here. But when I saw this on Facebook, I was like, that could be so cool. Like, I have all these scraps up in my room. I often bring them into pieces that I'm working on just to kind of fill in some white space or something like that. And We're gonna like get in these nooks and crannies with the smaller brush up here. And I just thought this would be perfect for that. Like, if you think about how you could alternate this, the different rows here, you know, with some inlays. Silly dog. Inlays and decoupage, scraps, stamps. Like you could do stamps here, like with different colored ink to bring some texture to it. This could be super boho. It could be super simple. I tend to do things more in the boho with lots of color. So by the time I'm done with this, it might not even resemble a Christmas tree, except in its actual form. Yeah. So if you also haven't heard, we got yes, hi BAFTA. We adopted a dog. We did a trial run and he hasn't left yet. So I think he's here to stay. I had to fill out the adoption forms. There's Snyder tomorrow. It's a home-to-home adoption. Beautiful dog, beautiful family. This dog is better suited for a family with adults, mostly adults in the household, not little kids, which works out for me. But the first family was a very nice family, and they're going to be missing this dog, so I kind of feel for them. All right. I'm just here painting, and I'm going to take a sip of my wine. If you're just joining, hello, welcome to my happy hour. All I'm doing is painting something green because I need to kickstart my creativity after not creating for a while. I probably haven't done anything since early August, September, October, November. Yeah. So, gosh, like really, it's been about 4 months since I've done anything. I can't think of anything that I've done that I just haven't done anything. I haven't had time, or I haven't had the creative capacity to really think of anything. And like I said, it's there's just, and I should be. There's not too many excuses. Well, it's not true. I shouldn't say that. But really, how hard is it to do this? Open up a can of paint and just paint something all one color. And while I'm sitting here doing this, I'm coming up with ideas on what's going to happen next. Like, where do I want inlays? What inlays would I want to, scraps do I want to put on this? What, I've got a ton of transfers, just different bits and pieces that separately don't make much sense. But I can come in here and, you know, put little swirls of molds on here. Snowflakes. Gingerbread hats. I had wanted to, for Halloween, take the sugar and spice mold by IOD and turn them into zombies, turn into a zombie family for Halloween. But I just, like I said, I just never got around to it. So, oh look, you guys can't see me painting. Somebody is on saying hello. It's Marianne. Hey Marianne, how are you? What is going on? I know you like to create. Well, I would love to hear what you've been working on lately. I'm guessing Christmas crafts. All right. I'm going to go back to my big brush here. I'm going to tilt the camera up just a little bit. All right. So, Marianne, this is a cardboard Christmas tree that I found on my local Buy Nothing group on Facebook. So I got it for, I don't want to say for free, but I mean, I did get it for free. I didn't pay anything for it. And I am painting it green. And then I'm going to come in here after it's dry. And I'm going to just have some fun over the next week or two. I'm going to make this like a nightly commitment where I come on here and I I got these different flaps right here. Maybe every night I do something to 5 flaps. It doesn't have to be complicated, right? It can just be an inlay, which is not complicated, especially at this level. I can make a few molds. I could have a mold night. I could do transfers. But transfers, I'm going to have to be careful because this is pressing down hard and rubbing on this might break some of these off. It looks like she used Type Bond to glue this tree on, and it's got a cardboard frame underneath it. So Marianne says, I start so many projects and almost finish, and then I start something else. I hear you, Marianne. I've got like 5 unfinished projects this year. I was gonna see if I could challenge myself to finish those, but then I was like, they're okay where they are. I think I just want to work on this one thing right here. In fact, some of my projects I could probably break down and put on the tree, and that could actually be really cool too, to reuse, to take the projects I started but haven't finished yet and get them on this tree. All right. But I hear you. It's hard to finish. Sometimes you don't know when to finish. Is it finished? I don't know. Could I do more to it? Always. And sometimes things that I haven't finished, people have thought were done. And they're like, that's so great. I love it so much. I'm like, but there's so much more to do. And they're like, really? I love it just the way it is. All right. We got some good green going here. I'm loving this green. All right. I'm going to shift my tree a little bit here. And we're going to start working on this section. I'm going to go over with the big brush first. And, oh, Cindy. Hey, Cindy. I did not make this. I got this tree from Buy Nothing. If you don't know what Buy Nothing is, let me know in the comments and I'll tell you. But somebody, I don't even know who it is, posted it on Buy Nothing. She had made it. It's cardboard strips glued to like a cone shape strip of other cardboard. So it's very simple how she made it. And I think it's Type Bond glue is what it looks like. It's a glue that dried clear. And she made it. And then I guess she was done with whatever she wanted it for. Or maybe it's been sitting someplace taking up space in her garage. I don't know. But I mean, it looks brand new to me. Like she just made it. It hasn't been banged up or anything. Woo! Let's get in there. There's like so many different things now that I'm looking at this. Like I could have spray painted this like silver and then come back and done this. I mean, there's so many things now that I'm looking at it that I'm like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. But I am happy with my original. So far, I'm happy with my original idea, and I'm not going to wander from it. Tonight, I'm just painting this green, and then every day, I'm going to come in between now and I'm not sure when, but I'm gonna take on like 5 different pieces and do something with them, so that I am going to challenge myself to do something creative, whether big or small, every single day. I might as well just go through the end of the year, huh? Or until Christmas. But why not? I need to be out and creating right now. And this will help me. I am going to be out of town for my mom's funeral from the 6th to the 10th. So I won't be doing anything then, obviously, but I will be back. And I am pretty sure I'm going to need some creative therapy to deal with that. Yeah. So I've gotten a ton of furniture off of Buy Nothing, Cindy, to paint and upcycle and practice on. And this year, then usually what I do is that I work on the projects throughout the spring and summer, and then late summer, there's an art fair here where I live, a vintage and antique art fair. and street fair, and I have a booth, and all the things I've been working on the last year, I try to sell them. And this year I did not feel up to it. So I bowed out, but I had all this furniture that I had been working on, and I don't have space in my garage for it all. I'm sure you guys can understand the necessity of space and when you've been working on something. And so anyways, I went and I went back onto Buy Nothing, and I gave almost all of it away. But I'll tell you, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who, that they can't afford fancy looking furniture or something that looks like it belongs in Anthropologie. And, having a bright, happy piece of furniture in their home that makes them feel good about like that little nook in their house, like, I don't know, that's kind of rewarding too. All right, making lots of progress on the screen here. Oh, thanks, Cindy. Thank you. It's been interesting to kind of process losing my mom. I think you saw on Facebook that she and I actually hadn't talked for about 7 years until last spring. She was, I'm just going to be pretty straightforward here. She was not a well person. It's probably like, I don't want to, talk bad about the people or anything like that, but she wasn't. She had a lot of anxiety, fear, depression. Yeah, it was not an easy place to grow up. That's for sure. And I moved out of my house when I was 17, and I came back briefly when I flunked out of college, and I realized I can't live here anymore. And then I was pretty much on my own at the age of 18, and I moved across the coast in 1994 after I put myself through college, and the distance between us helped a lot and established some boundaries. But there was always something going on. And when I had my 2 kids, and my mom's behavior didn't change even after lots of attempts to talk about it, I just decided it was better for me and my kids that I went no contact with her. My kids were scared of her. They were scared of the way she treated me, and they were scared of the way they were scared that she was going to hurt them, and she gave them reason to think that. So anyways, not easy, but when she had dementia, I swear something happened. I don't know if it was because she was in assisted living and on medication, or she wasn't drinking anymore, but she actually apologized to me and told me she was sorry for everything, and that she loved me. And those were like words I really hadn't heard from her before, when it wasn't placed in like a form of a threat or, anger or fear. It was just pure from her heart. And that was a first for me. So I took that and ran with it. And I went out to see her for the first time in many years. And we had probably the best conversations I've ever had in my entire life with her. And to me, that was a gift. And I accepted it. All right. I'm going to take a little break here and just look at some of your comments. Yeah, Cindy, we're not alone. It's really crazy. Like, I was just so surprised when I heard from so many different women the same experience. Like, because it's not something I ever share, right? It's a little bit, I don't know. It's just, it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words. Hey, Rana, how are you? Yes, that I did get closure. Sometimes people make fun of closure, but I'll tell you what, it definitely has brought me a lot of peace the last, I mean, it's been hard still, but at the same time, like being able to see her and talk to her and care for her, weeks before she passed away, that's something I never thought I would ever do in a million years, but there I was doing it. Yeah. So, hey, Cynthia Ann Thomas Barnes Buston. That's quite the name. It looks like a combo name, like maybe you and your husband share the same account or something. But welcome. You guys tell me where you're watching from. I know where most of you guys are because a lot of you guys are my customers, and I know where you are. But if you want to share the general area where you're watching in from, feel free. And I'm looking from you guys to tell me when you have felt stuck or not like creating, like what was the reason? Like, do you know what the reason was? And then what was the solution? What was the thing that finally got you back creating again? Let's see what people are saying. Oh, Rana's gonna come back later. Yeah, come back later and let me know what you've got going on, Rana, because I haven't heard from you in a while, and I'd like to know what inspires you. Cynthia's in Tennessee. That is also where Kayleen is from. She may join later on, but she is an awesome artist. And Cindy Jean is from Wisconsin. Yeah. We're gonna keep on painting here. Loop. Yeah, so let me know in the comments if you're up to sharing. Otherwise, we can go on to easier topics, away from parents dying and onto like, what's your favorite Christmas show? What's your favorite thing you've created so far for the holidays? I don't want to be a downer on a Friday night, but it does feel good to be just getting color on here. That's for sure. I'm going to come in here with a little bit more paint. I'm going to come across. So I've been hesitant to spray any water on the cardboard with the paint because I don't want it to get mushy, but I am going to do just a little bit of that now because I feel like it's a light mist. Let's see what that does. Get in these cracks here. I definitely don't want to lose this texture, like these bumps. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll put this down. So like, watch this. So when I come in here, you see all the ridges that I'm catching with the paint. Can you guys see that? Like, I love the idea of coming back in like with white, because after I paint this green, and then if I do this with white paint, then the white will be, see where the green lines are here? Then that's where the white will be, and it can look like snow caps on the green. But that could be really pretty. So let's get some more paint here. I'm using Salty Kiss from DIY. I haven't used this color before. I tend to go for the darks, the dark greens, but this is perfect for this project. All right, let's do a little bit of water mist. Here we go. Trying to get in those cracks. Yeah, that's something to think about. 7 years without creating, moving frequently. Yeah, life. What got you going again, Cindy? What got you creating again after 7 years of a little break from it all? I want to know. Curious minds want to know. What got you painting again? here the smaller brush. Oops, see, there's a little break there, but that's fine because let me point this so you guys can see where I'm pointing right here. So right here, the cardboard's split a little bit. That's fine. I could take a mold and put a mold on top of this right here, and bingo, you won't be able to see that anymore. What do we got here? A picture of a painted cat that you created, Cindy. You did a picture, or you saw a picture of a painted picture of a cat, and then that got you going. I sent out an email, I think it was yesterday or the day before, about somebody grieving also, and how they're just feeling like they're kind of, it's just hard to pick up and start painting again. I get that. And I do think just like also telling yourself, you're not going to take on a big project. You're just going to start small, and you're going to do something simple. For me, just like this, changing the color of something, I don't know, it feels like really therapeutic. Like here I am. I'm able to do something that's making a difference. You saw a painting of a cat on a rock, and that inspired you. I love it. Was it a big painting, small painting, acrylic oil? Were you in a gallery? What was going on? I was thinking, and this is something I had talked about with a woman out of the California area. We were talking, and we did it a couple times. We would have lives, and she had a camera, and we would just sit here and we would do watercolors with each other, and that would be my live, my happy hour live. If anybody out there is ever interested in doing something like that, like joining the show, and like all you need is a iPhone camera, or Android, of course, and tripods help, but we could paint together. Yeah, it's fun to do that together and see what the other person is working on, or what their approach is, or if you hit kind of like a wall and you're trying to figure out what to do next. There's a studio. There's a woman here where I live in Camas. Her name is Alita, and she has Tuesday nights paint night, and you just bring your projects, whatever you're working on, into her studio and paint with other women. And that, I think, just sounds like such a great idea to me. Like, and I don't, because like it's another thing is like I work so much and I do so many things. I'm online a lot. Like I don't get out. I don't get out, but it would be nice to make some friends, other artists who would inspire you, Okay, I'm going to flip this a little bit more. We are making progress. Ta-da! More to paint. Okay. I'm going to spray a little bit of water in my paint because it's thickening up. And I'm going to do my little fun thing I like to do. I'm going to pull the camera back a little bit too, just so you guys can, here we go. I don't know, that's just so satisfying, as the kids say these days. Big, broad strokes. That's one of the things I like about painting furniture is the big strokes, lots of color, lots of areas to make mistakes on, and then cover back up again, or divert attention someplace else. There we go. I love those ridges just kind of coming out. Does she charge to have people come to paint? Yes. Yeah, it's like if you come every week, it's something like I don't know, like $100 a month. And then if you come like twice a month, it's cheaper. But I was just thinking it would be worth it just to get out of the house and paint with other women, and we would all have our different projects going on. I could learn so much from other people and get out of my shell a little bit. She also does classes. I did a retreat with her to, what's the name of it? It's called Lopez Island. So you take a ferry. It's north of the Seattle, Washington area, and you take a ferry to Lopez Islands. It's the Orcas Islands, is what that little section is called. And you take a ferry there, and it was Thursday through Sunday. It was probably like the most invigorating, rejuvenating experience I had had in years. Because you didn't have, I was going to say you don't have family members, or things come up where you kind of get interrupted. But ironically, like, I think it was the second night that I was there, my son got into a car accident with his girlfriend. He was fine, but it was really scary. And then, and it was the first time something like that had happened to either one of them. They're going through a traffic circle, and they went off the road and were heading towards a big lake down a hill, and a park bench stopped them from going into the water. So they were pretty shook up from that. And then something happened with my daughter too. I don't even want to talk about it. Just think teen girl making bad choices and fill in the blanks. So, So some stuff did happen, and I didn't learn how bad like it was for my daughter until afterwards. And she had already kind of pulled some stuff right before I left, which made it stressful to leave. But I knew I needed to get away. If any of you guys have ever had teenagers, I'm sure you can relate. All right, more green. This up a little bit so you guys can see the top of my tree. I gotta figure out something good to put in the top up here. Any ideas? I can cut something. I can make something out of cardboard. It could be something like a star, but maybe no. It's gonna be maybe I could get like an accidental art maker tree topper. What would that be? That could be fun. Oops. Okay. Here. There we go. Yeah. So just painting this green. I know it's not exciting, but I appreciate the opportunity to be on camera with you guys and close out the week doing something creative. So I got some more. And seriously, this is the most I've painted through since August. So it's just so nice to have a paintbrush in my hands again. And I don't have to think too much about what I'm doing. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but it's making me feel good. And look, you guys are like free therapists. I've been sitting here, I'm burdening myself to you. All right. I think I'm almost, got like one more major little section to do. Well, I want to try and get the whole thing painted. I've been kind of ignoring the top and bottom parts, which are off camera. All right, we're going to do a little bit of mist of water. Because I don't want the cardboard to get too smushy. But I mean, this right here in itself is just like getting inspired on Facebook. going to a Buy Nothing group. I mean, I often go there to see what people are giving away and see if there's anything there I want to paint. Not half my garage, but a good portion of my garage has things for me to paint that I've gotten from Buy Nothing. And the fun thing about when you get stuff like that, it's not like you went out and you went searching and you paid $100 for something, so you have like money invested in it and time invested in it. If you get something for free on Buy Nothing and again, I think this is really hard to do, but we see it as this way a lot. Mess it up, quote unquote, then you've learned something, right? And I forget who it was. On my Facebook page, she had this brilliant, but such like a simple statement, and it was often what I see is messed up and ugly, other people find beautiful. And I was like, that just pretty much sums it up, right? Like, you go, maybe you go look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, right? And who would you let talk to you that way, right? It's like your own brain, giving you feedback. But then someone who loves you looks at you and all they see is a beautiful human being. And I think that happens a lot to us women, like all the messages, all the different things we're supposed to be and all how good we're supposed to be naturally at them. Yeah. Anyways, I loved what she wrote because it just really, I don't know, just really hit home. Like, yeah, it's so true. Things that we find flawed and that we ourselves are judgmental of, usually something that we've done or haven't done, or everything from not watering your plants to just the things, people, you see your garden and it's full of weeds and you just think how like it doesn't look anything like you wanted it to. Somebody else comes along, they're like, oh my gosh, look at all the beautiful things that are growing in this garden, and look at the vegetables, look at those tomatoes. They see things from a very different perspective that you do. There's probably some kind of psychological term for that. All right, I'm painting off camera. All right, I'm going to turn this again. Oh my goodness. All right, we're pretty close here to wrapping this up, at least stuff that you guys can see. Let's do some more green with my big brush. So little trick sometimes I do is I'll just go in and I'll spray right on my brush, or like actually in my brush. Let me pull this back a little bit so you guys can see it better. Satisfying big broad brush strokes. Boom. Whoops. Did you guys see that? Well, thank God for glue, because all I could do is come back in here and glue that back in there. So I guess I was taking it being a little bit too heavy there on my big broad brush strokes. All right. Who is burnt out on creating art for the holidays? Is anybody burnt out by it yet? This is actually the first thing I've done for the holidays. I haven't done anything yet. And that's how I was last year. It's just hard for me to get into the holiday spirit and create holiday things until it is closer to the holiday. I really do want to do Halloween stuff next year, but we'll see. We'll see what happens and where I'm at. here with my smaller brush. I only use a little bit of paint too. All right, I am coming up on an hour. My husband and I have ribs waiting to eat from Costco. My wine tonight is courtesy of Costco. They have really good wine. Did you guys? I don't know if you guys like your wine, but no, I really like their selection. Like their Kirkland brand of wine. Gosh, it's pretty good, and it's not expensive either. My brother-in-law in California would be cringing if he heard me say that. He's a connoisseur of wine. He will be in Montana, I believe, for Christmas, so I will be getting some of the good stuff. All right. Let's see here. It's like the never-ending Christmas tree. All right, I'm going to put, so my bowl's looking like this right now. The paint's drying up. I'm going to just give it a good spray. And I'm going to take my big brush and just roll it around in there. Load up some paint. And boom! I have paint. All right, here's one that's going to come off. I'm just going to remove it so I don't beat it up too bad. I'm probably going to keep working on this after I go off camera and after I have dinner. And I'll post a picture of the all green tree tomorrow on Facebook if you guys are on there. If you're not on Facebook and you want to see, well, I'll be back on doing lives with this again. I'll probably like do some fun little clips that I'll make shorts out of for YouTube, so you guys can follow along the progress here. But yeah, I think it's close to wrapping up here. And again, if you watched all the way through, thank you so much. If you've enjoyed the conversation, please like, share, follow, all the things, subscribe. I don't do too many lives. I just don't have time for them, and frankly sometimes I just don't want to have to do a live. I just want to paint and not think too much about trying to, like, I don't know, be a stockist. I just want to be an artist, when I'm doing this. I'm sure you guys understand. All right, I'm going to call that good for now. I'm going to go eat some dinner, and I'll come back and paint later. And let me wrap this up and switch cameras here so you guys can see my face as I sign off. There we go. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Hope you enjoyed just watching me paint something green. The big lesson behind this whole hour is, just pick up a paintbrush and paint, and one color, one surface. Just enjoy just doing that. Don't pressure yourself into trying to think you have to be a Picasso, or, don't overwhelm yourself. Just do something small. Set the timer for 10 minutes and say, I'm just going to paint for 10 minutes and then I'm done. So that you're not putting pressure on yourself to, spend hours doing things. If you only have 10 minutes, you only have 10 minutes. Take the 10 minutes. It'll be a good investment for your day. So that's it. I'm going to stop lecturing now. Cheers. Cheers to Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you all later.